इंडिया के अंदर जैसे और स्पोर्ट्स का लेट्स से क्रिकेट एक प्रॉपर डोमेस्टिक सर्किट है, बट फॉर गोल्फ वी डोंट सी एनीथिंग लाइक दैट. सो how much is that one like?
So we do actually have a domestic tour, and quite a good one. It's been there since 2007, if I'm not wrong. The base has been laid by this tour. It's called the Professional Golf Tour of India, PGTI. We have an alliance with the DP World Tour in Europe and the PGA Tour in the US.
You know what needs to be done कि like जिससे golf का culture बढ़े country के अंदर?
I think we desperately need some sort of support from the government, the national federation, to nurture the professional level. If there is a system in place, which I have seen in certain other countries like Sweden, they might have a population of Delhi. Honestly, I'm not sure, but they are producing golfers and tennis players like it's like a factory out there. You know, if we have population on our side, I don't see a reason why we can't produce 100x the amount of athletes in every sport.
Do you think having a whole commercial league for the golf will help? Like the country?
We do actually have something in the works. Our tour PGTI has something in the works, but
ये golf player like India में कितने पैसे कमा लेता है एक साल में?
So our base purse in India is 1 crore. What that means is 1 crore will be split among the top 50 competitors at the end of round 4, based on a percentage system.
So like you have been around the world, you have seen European talent, the talent from America. So do you think कोई difference है between us and them? Like talent wise, is there any difference?
I don't think talent wise there is a difference.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Dugout India show, and today we have Mr. Saptak with us. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
So like sir, India में cricket एक ऐसा sport है जो लोग सबसे ज़्यादा pick करते हैं. So like how did golf come into your life? Like कैसे आया?
So we went on a holiday when I was probably 3-4 years old, and one of Dad's friends got him into golf, and I basically just tagged along, and didn't look back ever since.
So like sir, was there any moment जब आपको realize हुआ that this is more than a hobby for you? Like आपको इसमें अपना career pursue करना है?
I don't think as such, no light bulb moment, but over the years, that commitment, that desire to wake up 4 in the morning, that doesn't really, nobody can force that on you. So as you keep making the initiative yourself, parents noticed it, and they kind of nurtured the interest, and slowly I think the hobby turned into more of a commitment, started taking up more of my life by choice, and then it slowly turned into a profession.
So like sir, इंडिया में बोला जाता है कि गोल्फ इज़ द स्पोर्ट फॉर द रिचेस्ट. सो उसके बारे में थोड़ा बताओ, लाइक कितना ट्रू है, कितना क्या है, लाइक व्हाट्स दैट सीन लाइक?
I think maybe 15-20 years ago, when the access was limited, we didn't have junior programs or access for junior golfers to golf courses. It might have held some value. As far as my experience is concerned, and fast forward to now, juniors of today, I don't think that is true. There is plenty of junior programs in the country, but at least for Delhi I can speak of. I grew up at Delhi Golf Club, and they had a tremendous junior training program, and not only was it monetarily not stressful for the family to have a junior membership for their kid at Delhi Golf Club, but even socially also, the club wanted to have juniors. They loved to have juniors around and spend time at the club for 10, 12, 15 hours a day. I used to spend there. So I grew up over there, and even now at JP Greens they have their own golf academy, and they have their own junior training program here, and it's kind of like a gated community. So you'll see kids in the evening that will just walk down from their homes, or bike down, come here, spend time, practice, go back home. And the environment now around junior golf in India is already different to what it was for me, but in either of those cases I have not found the tags of the elitist game, the rich game. They haven't held value in my experience.
So basically now the things have changed, we can say. जब हम गोल्फ का लाइक आई विल नॉट लाई टू, इवन व्हेन आई यूज्ड टू हियर द नेम गोल्फ, मुझे भी लगता था ओल्ड मनी, रिच, लाइक वो एक टैग है, बट नाउ वी कैन से दैट इट्स चेंजिंग विद टाइम. इनिशिएटिव्स हैव बीन टेकन लाइक जूनियर लेवल पे, जिससे प्रमोट हो रहा है. सो वी कैन से कि गोल्फ इज नाउ नॉट जस्ट फॉर द रिचेस बेसिकली.
आई थिंक during partition, so many golf courses, like before partition, sorry, the golf courses were made predominantly by the British, in India at least, by the British, for the army, for their army, so they have something to do. So even today we have a large number of golf courses in the country, but they are only army golf courses, so they're not necessarily open to civilians. So number wise we have a lot more golf courses, but the ones that we regular people have access to are a little less. But even those are maybe little less in general, but I do think they are welcoming for kids they want kids to be there at the facility, using the courses, spending time at the club. The parents are comfortable leaving their kids at a golf course for multiple hours at a stretch, day in, day out. I know my parents let me, after a certain age, they let me be there from sun up to sundown, and for a 8, 9, 10-year-old kid, you don't really want to leave them alone. क्या कोई
कर क्या रहा है basically,
हाँ, या कोई nanny होएगी या कोई होएगी, तो to not have that, even for the kid, you get a sense of responsibility. And obviously I didn't think of it at that point, but at that point you just want to play, you just want to be outside. मेरे को बाहर रहना, मेरे को खेलना है, I like doing this, I'm just gonna spend time there, and it never felt like a chore. And I think it's very important for a kid to not feel out of place. I think the moment you feel out of place, you lose interest in the sport, right? So I think that aspect, we might not have the amount of golf courses that we want, but I think what we do have is certainly enough to grow the game.
Like I think for the grassroots level we have enough like golf courses to like to keep that stepping stone, like वो already रखा जा चुका है, but आगे बढ़ाने के लिए we have enough. धीरे धीरे जैसे talent और interest आएगा, we can say that और courts आ जाएंगे, like with time.
हाँ, even COVID के बाद से इतना, there's been such a boom in recreational golfers, just of all ages. So there has been a crazy interest in the sport, because in COVID it was one of the activities that was socially acceptable, because you're always socially distanced. It was acceptable to go out even when grocery store बंद है, malls बंद है, but golf was allowed. A lot of people frowned upon it because it was like एक activity है, तुम open कैसे कर सकते हो? But for mental health reasons, for what not, it was okay, and it
was meeting all the criteria, we can say.
It got you out of the house, and तुम इतना confined to a space थे कि you would take any excuse. So golf was able to benefit from that, and we've seen an insane boom in memberships, in just regular day-to-day play, public play, in all the golf courses, I think. So we have seen it in the population, not in the junior level, because junior level people didn't want to send their kids alone during COVID, but regular middle age, our age group, I would say there was a crazy increase in the popularity. But even at the junior level, I think there is enough facilities to nurture the kind of numbers that we have.
So I get it. So like sir, जैसे one thing I want to know is that if you can tell the audience that what golf is really about, like basically थोड़े rules क्या होते हैं, जैसे par हो गया, all that, like क्योंकि लोगों को idea नहीं है, so that they can have a better idea about it.
Yeah, so basically it's 18 holes. There is a par for every hole, ranging between 3, 4 and 5. 3 being the shortest hole distance wise, 4 is a little longer, and 5 is the longest distance wise hole. And par essentially is the expected value, expected score that you should have. So par meaning average. If you have a birdie on a hole, you had 1 under par, so 1 less than the par. Par obviously is 0, and bogey is 1 over par, and then double bogey keeps going up. So unlike other sports, it's actually one sport where the less your score, the better you're doing. So when you see minus 15 on a leaderboard, it's actually good. So the more you are in the negative, the better it is.
So for the audience, if you see any board like randomly a golf scorecard and you see negative, don't get scared, that person is winning.
Negative is good.
Negative is good. So yeah, so like sir, जैसे कोई 13-14 साल का बच्चा है and he wants to start, so like what's one thing that उसके पास होनी चाहिए, like is it the requisite like clubs, or is it membership या academy coaching, क्या चीज़ है वो आपके हिसाब से?
In my head, I think it's equipment. It was instilled quite early through my parents that you know, if the moment I showed interest in the sport, they said we'll buy you a kit. And then when you buy a kid a piece of equipment, whether it's a football, whether it's a badminton racket or a cricket bat or whatever, you develop some sort of a connection with it. And without that, I think the interest has your desire with the sport, your interest of the sport, I think there is a ceiling. I don't think you cross it through rental clubs कि every time तुम जाके rent कर रहे हो, today it's this club, tomorrow it's that club, ये full size है. For a 10-year-old kid, a full size club, like not only can you injure yourself, so there's a physical aspect to it, but also like it's a strange club, it's somebody else's club, it's a borrowed club, so you don't feel one-to-one with the club. And if you have a piece of equipment, you take care of it, it's in your room. I've slept with my first club for I don't know how many days, but so there is an emotional aspect to it. It becomes part of you. So I think equipment, I think if anybody is interested in picking up the sport, I would encourage them or their parents to definitely buy
the equipment
first, so they feel
I feel like, sir, like, you know, equipment is more like a part of you. Like for example, let's say racket sports, tennis के अंदर I have seen that, you know, Carlos Alcaraz, they have a specific rackets for their game days. So like, you know, that shows it's a connection between them.
100%.
I will use this. So like, you know, a sense of belongingness, it becomes a part of you.
Yeah.
More like that.
And for a kid, I think that's a big part, because if you're going in like a training program, right? So you have multiple kids next to you also. So to have like an adult club, you'll feel out of place, and a kid can be turned off quite easily if he doesn't feel like he belongs there or fits in. So it's very important to do all the, and these are small steps, but I think they can have a much bigger impact, positive or negative. Like if you give a kid his own set of clubs, he'll guard it with everything, he'll take it everywhere. You know, a new guest comes in the house, दिखाएंगे मेरा golf set है.
It's a thing to, you know, brag about more. Like
of course.
So sir, like India के अंदर जैसे और sports का, let's say cricket, एक proper domestic circuit है, but for golf we don't see anything like that. So how much is that true, and like what exactly that scene is for like India?
So we do actually have a domestic tour, and quite a good one. It's been there since 2007, if I'm not wrong, and it's seen a big rise in interest, not only domestically but internationally. We probably have about 15-20 international players from Europe, from the US, from Canada. Obviously the neighboring countries are there. So our domestic tour is one of the best in the world, I would say. We have about 25 odd events, starting from February. We'll play until May, and then we take a little break in the summer because it's too hot, and then we start back up in September all the way until Christmas. And so 25 events split in two sets of the year. And I think there is the base has been laid by this tour. It's called the Professional Golf Tour of India, PGTI. We have an alliance with the DP World Tour in Europe and the PGA Tour in the US. So the ladder system is in place. If you do well over here, you get to play in Europe. If you do well in Europe, you get to play at the highest level in the US on the PGA Tour. So there are stepping stones everywhere available. If you play good enough, you graduate and you get the promotion and so on and so forth. The interest is certainly there, and yeah.
So like sir, like you said, you stay like 35-36 weeks like in a year on a tour, like around the world. So like how tough does it get mentally for you, like, you know, being away from the family and like, you know, facing the up and downs of the sport? तो कितना tough होता है आपके लिए वो?
It's certainly quite challenging. When it's all going well, week to week seems easier, the travel seems easier, but when you're on the road for 35, at some point you get into a phase where you're not playing so great, you get a little homesick, or the food doesn't really suit. Our culture is so rich in our food that हमको flavor इतना पसंद है, whether it's sweets or whether it's just regular savory snacks or whatever. We have a lot of flavor in our food, and I can't say the same for most other countries. So that food aspect, I think, has been the biggest in my life. Ki you cannot adjust enough to a new place. So it always feels like you're force feeding it and feels a little alien. But the hardest part I think becomes when you have to handle defeat or any kind of setbacks, which it's the most consistent thing in sport, right? Setbacks, वो तो होंगे ही. So it's challenging, but I think it's one thing you sign up for in sports. It's one thing you'll honestly look forward to in sports because it's the highlight of it all. Like the having to deal with the ups and downs, because if you don't have the ups, you don't have the downs, and you only appreciate the ups when you have the down. So when you're going through it, you feel like it's the end of the world. But having come out of a few setbacks myself, I know I'm ready for the next one, and it's inevitable. At some point it'll come, but it makes you stronger the next time.
But I think it defines your character. Like, when you face challenging situations, at times you feel like giving up, but you don't give up and you get out of it. Then you see, like, the ups of it, and then you realize that, yeah, I was there as well. So you respect it, the whole journey. And I feel like that, ups and downs are a part of life. क्योंकि अगर life का graph ही सीधा होगा तो life ही खत्म हो गई ना.
You don't look forward to anything.
You don't have to look forward to, like, basically, yeah. So आपके पास कुछ है तो देखने के लिए, just like, motivational factor. Correct. More likely. So yeah, interesting. So like, so if you get the power, like, to make any change to promote golf, like, what's that one thing that you think you will do कि जिससे golf का culture India में और बढ़े? Like, if you get that power, what will you do?
Right now or like future? Like future. I think the one thing I want to do is, it's in my mind, I don't know to what level of clarity I have it, but some type of a mentorship program as a professional to give back to the game that has given me so much. I have my career in front of me, of course, but at some point in the future, I'd like to have more one-on-one time with juniors, let's say, for them to have more direct insight into what that life that they're thinking of in their head, what that might look like 5-7 years down the line when they do take it up as a profession, because nobody prepares you for that. You don't know what to expect. You think of the glamour. You don't think of what the nights and days look like that are not around golf tournaments. You see the wins, you don't see the losses. You see the wins around it, where your kid is coming onto the green celebrating the win with you. You have a picture with the family and everything with the trophy. What about the other 155 guys that didn't win? So there's a lot of aspects about this life that I don't think I certainly didn't know before I took the plunge, and I don't think most people know. But I think if you can prepare kids a little more, give them more insight on the life, it'll only inspire more, because you appreciate the dedication to a larger extent when you see it up close. And so yeah, to some extent I think I have some sort of a picture of what I want, but that's obviously much
more like giving back to the community, like, prepping the junior athletes and, like, getting them ready. Yeah. So that to tell them that this is what's coming for you, like, it's not about the highs, there are lows as well, like basically prepping them for that. Yeah. And एक और चीज़, like, present के हिसाब से बताओ that, what needs to be done कि, like, जिससे golf का culture बढ़े country के अंदर, like, what do you think?
I think we desperately need some sort of support from the government, the national federation, to nurture the professional level. I think we have some sort of programs at the junior level. There's national camps, there's for juniors and amateurs, but once you take the professional plunge, I don't think there is enough support nationally, because you become independent contractors. You're no longer representing the country directly. Like when we play our tournaments, we have the Indian flag next to our name, but we're not necessarily representing the country directly. Only in your Asian Games and your Olympics are you directly tied to your country. Are you going from the country? Every other event we pay our own way. We accommodation, flights, everything is borne by us. So you don't necessarily represent you always representing the country when you go outside, but you're not under the banner per se.
Yeah, exactly.
So they don't there's not enough attention, I think, being given to the professional level, and eventually your whether it's the commercial side of it or sponsors or whatever you want to think, it's everything comes from the commercial, but from the professional side बनता नहीं है अगर junior side नहीं बनेगा. So it's all tied, but I do think professionally if the federation can have some sort of a system to have like a national squad of your top 5-7 pros, men and women, and you hold camps, have a coach come in, do a physical screening, whether it's your golf side or your body side or your nutritional side or any other aspects, mental side, that you can to try and gain an edge. And if there is a system in place, which I have seen in certain other countries like Sweden, they might have a population of Delhi. Honestly, I'm not sure, but they are producing golfers and tennis players like it's like a factory out there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so if we have population on our side, I don't see a reason why we can't produce 100x the amount of athletes in every sport.
Because we have talent.
Yeah. तो जब shortage नहीं है तो why are we not there? So I think that lack, I think, is somewhere in we've always been the country to have results before the funds come in, which is completely fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like 83 में वर्ल्ड कप जीते तो early 2000s में पैसे आए, to now where there is basically a dynasty in cricket. I don't think we have to wait that 40 years to have that dynasty between the first breakthrough and your now, where it's like if we don't win a series or a World Cup or something, it's like how the hell did we not win? That 40 years gap I don't think is necessary in every sport. I think if you can be proactive and put systems in place, we don't have to have that 40-year wait.
I think for cricket right now, like अगर हम ODI, T20, टेस्ट तीनों के अंदर 3 अलग टूर्नामेंट्स एट द सेम टाइम पे अपनी टीम भेजना चाहे, हम 3 अलग टीम भेज के डोमिनेट कर सकते हैं, एंड वी कैन विन
100%
because we have put in that money and that effort for that. And now, like coming from you, we know that you know in golf we have a lot of talent. So मेरे हिसाब से वेट करने का कोई सेंस नहीं है. Like you know, give the money, like you know, fund them the right way. उनको funding दो and see the results. Like you know, we are going to see them.
100%, and you'll expedite this process by a lot of years, and I think the country, especially after the last couple of Olympics, where we have been in the reckoning of medals and then come up short, the country is desperate for, like, there was so much attention around these events, so you know the attention is there, the want is there, the desire and the athletes is obviously there, so we're close. But I think that proactiveness, if those steps are taken, we can skip a lot of this hustle bustle of bronze medal. But we want the gold. You know, we don't want a participation trophy. We want athletes go there to win. Nobody's going there to participate. But in so many sports, we aren't prepped enough. We don't have
we celebrate
the exposure.
I think we celebrate even if you know make it to the cut, like top 5 में आ गए, wow, our athlete. But I think you know that if we would have put in more funds, more efforts, like you know in training and everything, we would have been in the top 3 or even you know won the gold medal.
Yeah, I think एक sports का बहुत inherent concept होता है जो बचपन में हम appreciate ज़्यादा करते हैं कि you're going there to win, you want to be the last man standing, and that I think gets sometimes lost through the years when you turn professional and you're so caught up in the next goal and the next drive and the next Olympics and the next games and the next meet, because you want to get there, but you're training to get there to win, and the athlete knows, but the systems, the expectations around it sometimes are lost at the participation level. And if certain measures are taken to prep us the right way from a national perspective, then you can expect them to go there and win. To have a tennis player not only win the mixed doubles or the doubles, but to have a singles, men or women tennis player to go win a Grand Slam.
Why not?
You have the skill. There is no lack of talent for
India.
players, but there needs to be some sort of initiative taken by the federation of respective sports
Sports.
to be proactive and create champions, not wait for a good player
To show up.
to show up and then you'll be like, okay, now you can get XYZ.
So, like, you know, I think we can say that there are many athletes, like I would say Neeraj Chopra,
Yeah.
for example, like, you know, no, I will say that वो बंदा झूठ बोल रहा है if they will say that yeah, we were following Neeraj's journey even before he won the gold. That's a lie. I think बहुत कम लोग देख रहे थे, but the moment he won the gold, everybody knew. Now everybody follows everything.
Everything. Whatever tournament, whatever meet he's participating, it's in the news.
It's in the news, exactly. He's getting the media coverage, and it's a good thing.
It's
So-
great.
So why not, like, you know, do it before he gets the gold? Like आप हो, like कोई और athlete है, वो participate करने से पहले, when we know that, you know, he has the talent,
Yeah.
so why not bet on him early on? Like, you know, why should we wait? That's the whole point.
If you nurture a talent at the right age, there is no telling how high that person goes. But if you wait until एक bronze आ गया है and he's 33 years old, 33 in an athlete's life in most sports is you're towards the
Like end of your prime.
yeah. So this process needs to be like somewhere for the target the age groups between like 16 to 25, 16 to 23 even, and at that age you need to start grooming the top 5, top 7, top 8 players that you think are the next prodigies.
Carlos Alcaraz, I would
Yes,
say.
yes.
He's 22, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, and he has 4 Grand Slams
Yeah.
already. So like that shows
The
like
4 Grand Slams happened now,
Hap-
but 3 years ago we knew he was going to win a Grand Slam.
Yeah, that he is the next big thing.
Yeah, but you can't wait for him to qualify for Wimbledon and be like, okay, now he's made Wimbledon,
Then-
now isko paisa do
do.
and isko coaching do so that he can maybe get to the
Yeah,
quarterfinals
or-
3 years from now. Then वो कभी नहीं
नहीं
जीतेगा।
नहीं जीतेगा. Like, you know, I
जब तक
think,
उसका बॉडी प्रेप होती है, माइंड प्रेप होता है, तब तक एज स्टार्ट्स डिक्लाइनिंग। इन अ स्पोर्ट लाइक टेनिस you are running against time. Fortunately for golf you don't run that risk कि 33 is not the end. You see guys playing till they're 50.
50. So
But at the same time, that proactiveness needs to exist at the grassroots level, the
Grassroots.
federations, the governments. It could be a state thing. Maybe you have state camps, so it doesn't need to be too expensive, too elaborate, and nobody needs to travel that much. The coaches don't need to travel that much. The players certainly don't. But there's no shortage of ideas. But I think the initiative needs to be taken by the federations
And the
involved
board, yeah.
to nurture these things.
I think that, you know, अगर सही टाइम पे सही तरीके से इन्वेस्ट किया जाए, so we can definitely, like, you know, लाइन लगा सकते हैं मेडल्स की. We have so much talent in the country in every sport.
In every sport, and the country is sports hungry right now.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
see how कुछ भी sports होता है, everybody's glued to the TV.
So like coming to that, we have seen जैसे, you know, even sports like rugby, उसकी GMR Sports ने लीक करवाई, TT की हो रही है, शूटिंग की, राइफल की शूटिंग की, सब की हो रही है. So like it's adding and people are watching those things. So do you think having a whole commercial league for the golf will help, like, the country?
We do actually have something in the works. Our tour PGTI has something in the works, but I don't know the specifics exactly. But I do think the mesh between the corporate world and the professional side of the sport, some sort of a blend can only benefit the visibility. And especially a sport like golf, it's so social that at every corporate company has guys at the top level that are playing golf and closing deals at the golf course.
Of course, yeah.
So they are playing golf themselves, we are playing golf at our own level. Combining them, I don't think there's no downside to it. It can certainly help.
So like, yeah, there can be a bit of biasness, but I think that, you know, in promoting the grassroots athletes and, like, you know, promoting the culture, like, you know, people will be glued to it, they will see. So like उनको पता चलेगा कि वो exactly होता क्या है. Like, you know, people will start even looking up to you that, oh, he is such a great player in our country. They will look up to your other talents that will come. So eventually it will help them. What do you think?
Yeah, it's the whole concept is visibility, right? Right now it's a little one-dimensional, cricket or nothing. All your TV deals are cricket. There are 8 channels for cricket, but maybe 1 for all the other sports.
Sports, yeah, exactly.
And it's that way because there is only money in cricket right now. For athletes or for corporates. If you have the choice to put in money, एक जगह डालोगे तो बहुत पैसा मिलेगा और एक जगह डालोगे तो शायद पैसा मिलेगा, तो वो वहीं डालेंगे. तो as visibility keeps increasing, we will see the rise in the junior level also, and then slowly it will catch up. So visibility does need to increase, and through this league concept that's taken over in the last few years, I think post COVID only it started. Yeah, I think it could benefit.
So I think we are the first one to break it out that a league of golf is in the works. So
It's possible.
it's for the camera. So yeah. So like we talked about money. Like when we think about golf, we think money. So like क्या आप बता सकते हो that like not the estimate, like not the exact figure but an estimate कि एक golf player like इंडिया में कितने पैसे कमा लेता है एक साल में?
So basically we have about 25 events on the domestic tour, and every event in India at least will start with about 126 players, and after 2 days it is cut to 50. So the last 2 days only the top 50 will play, and only the top 50 will earn money. The outside India events are 150, they start with 156 and they're cut to 60. So similar concept. But for the sake of this, I'll explain you the India concept. It's 126 cut down to 50 for the last 2 days. 50 earn money. So our base purse in India is 1 crore. What that means is 1 crore will be split among the top 50 competitors at the end of round 4, based on a percentage system. So winner will get about 15%, second place 10%, third place 7.5%, and then so on and so forth. 10th place will get like 2%, 30th place will get 1%, and then 50th place will get 0.5%. So purses range anywhere between 1 crore to, we have a few co-sanctioned events. But like last week was a co-sanctioned event with the DP World Tour, which was a 45 crore purse. So that's the window.
So did you participate in that?
I did.
And did you make it to the cut, sir?
I did not make it to the cuts. I did not make it to the cuts. But yeah, so basically that's the purse division, and all expenses are borne by the player. So your flight, your travel,
everything,
accommodation, food, caddy fees, anything is borne by the player, because we're all independent contractors. But you have multiple opportunities. The more you play, the more opportunity you have to earn, right? And there is a window of age where you are able to play more, travel more, and be okay with the travel. After a certain point, your body can't react to that much travel. So for me, I travel about 30 to 35 weeks a year. As you get older, it keeps getting less, and you have to spend more time at home. You have family at home,
other responsibilities of life.
But as far as the earning side is concerned, I think in the country, golf is at a place that it hasn't been. We've been nowhere near in the last couple of years to what we are now. It's been a great upward graph. Last 3 years at least I can speak of, and we have alliances with the PGA Tour, the DP World Tour, and things are looking good. I think if there's a junior interested in pursuing golf in our country, there's a
good scope.
There's enough money to be made to earn a living.
So like sir, we hear that golf के अंदर there's just one prize, like first position, like और किसी को कुछ नहीं मिलता था. Second and the 40th person, they are the same. So like basically this is the thing they look up to, the percentage, more like.
Yeah, I mean the
motivational factor.
एक basic level पे you want to do the best you can, and blah blah blah. I want to put the best score forward. But you're going there to win. That basic concept of sports, I think it needs to exist. I don't think you can go into any sport thinking ki I just want to participate. You're going there to win.
Then you can't give your best, I think.
You can't. You're playing on the back foot, you're conservative. I mean that defeats the whole nature of sport as a whole. But at the same time, to earn a living, second is okay at times. and it helps you build towards that eventual breakthrough win.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
So like आपने बताया that you travel 35 weeks like approximately in a year. So like you have been around the world, you have seen European talent, the talent from America. So do you think कोई difference है between us and them, like talent wise, is there any difference?
I don't think talent wise there is a difference. I think facility wise maybe a little bit we might be at a disadvantage. We don't have the state of the art facilities that they do. I think that goes for all sports. I don't think we have that. Coaching wise maybe a little bit, but all in all I don't think the problem or the lack of achievement has been because of the talent. I think the talent is there. I think predominantly it's the whether the visibility comes first or the support from the federation comes first. One thing has to happen, the other follows, and then the result follows. If those two things don't happen, then you just wait for your first 83 World Cup in every sport, and then
You
make your 40-year wait.
I think then all we have in our hand is to sit around and watch faces and like let see the other country win and just applaud them.
We don't want the next Olympics ke time pe we don't want a headline that says okay we sent 200 Olympians and 3 medals.
Exactly. Now that like we are bidding for the 2036 Olympics in India, like athletes like you, they want to win kahin pe bhi ho, but when it comes to the home turf, you will be like you will be even more hungry, no matter what the age is, no matter what the situation is, you want to win the gold.
You're more motivated than ever, and I think we are at the time where if that bid is a realistic bid, if they are looking to actually host the Olympics in 2036, I think you need to start
right now,
taking the steps right now to make sure that every single possible sport that you have multiple medal contenders. I don't think the federations can say they're taking all the necessary steps in all the sports.
We can see like अभी भी आप देखोगे तो like right media coverage, right facilities, right sponsorships नहीं मिल रही, but we can say that schemes like TOPS ये सब government ला रही है जिसमें selected athletes को 50,000 rupees मिलेंगे, but वो मिलेंगे, but we need to start right now, क्योंकि 9 साल ही है, we can't say 9 साल है, बस 9 साल है, that's what we can say.
See, हमारा golf is now an Olympic sport, but I didn't grow up dreaming about Olympics because it wasn't a thing. We didn't have golf in the Olympics. Other sports, Olympics are
the main
your
thing.
तुम 4 साल वेट करते हो वो एक हफ्ते के लिए, तो your whole career is based on maybe 3 Olympics. 3 से ज़्यादा किसके बनते हैं?
किसी के नहीं है.
माने चले जाते हैं 12 साल और क्या,
उससे ज़्यादा तो प्राइम ही नहीं है.
Exactly. 12 साल भी अगर if somebody is 3-time Olympian in whatever sport, I think that's one of the Hall of Fame things. It doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, and like if you finish with 3 medals in India, then you are the GOAT of that sport more likely. Like we can say, और इंडिया में जैसे like people like Carlos Alcaraz है स्पेन से, like वो 16-17 साल की उम्र से खेल रहा है, तो वो इमेजिन कर सकता है कि हाँ 12 साल बाद भी मैं 28 का हूँगा तो 32-36 में भी आई विल कम्पीट, बट इंडिया में जब ब्रेक थ्रू 25-26 में मिलेगा तो मैक्सिमम 2, राइट? सो चांस ही नहीं है ना, और अगर बॉडी भी अलाउ नहीं करेगी.
अगर तुम्हारा इंटरनेशनल एक्सपोजर 25 पे हो रहा है तो 3-4 साल तो जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड what is being asked of me on an international level.
Like I have been in a conversation with an athlete. He told me that I went to like उस टाइम पे पाकिस्तान में it was स्क्वॉश का टूर्नामेंट था. They went, he was like इंडिया और पाकिस्तान के अंदर ही मेरे को एक्लिमेटाइज करने में वेदर से इतना डिफरेंस हो गया था that I didn't know कि भाई मैं करूँ क्या, मेरे से मैनेज ही नहीं हो रहा था. So 26 पे अगर आपको पहले एक्सपोजर मिलेगा तो आपको 3-4 साल तो कंट्रीज समझने के लिए ही चाहिए कि
then your Olympics is at a certain different part of the world altogether, not India, Pakistan, not Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Like, what do I do? So it needs to happen way before. I think if the government is this proactive in hosting the Olympics, in hosting the Commonwealth in 2030, it can certainly be the same level of proactive in developing its athletes. And I think if that were to happen, you could see India in a whole new level with sports.
Because like we have seen over the years हमारे पैरा एथलीट्स और एथलीट्स they are trying their best, मेडल आ रहे हैं, बट like 135 CR की पॉपुलेशन के हिसाब से बहुत कम मेडल आ रहे हैं. इट्स 27-28 पैरालंपिक्स में हम लाए, नॉर्मल में हम और भी कम लाते हैं. तो आई थिंक वो अगर काम करें, क्योंकि हमारे पास टैलेंट है, हर एथलीट लाइक किसी भी रिस्पेक्टेड स्पोर्ट का, इफ यू हैव अ कॉन्वर्सेशन दे विल से वी हैव इनफ टैलेंट, वी जस्ट नीड डेवलपमेंट एट द ग्रास रूट, एंड इफ द राइट डेवलपमेंट इज देयर, राइट फंड एलोकेशन इज देयर, वी आर गेटिंग मेडल्स. लाइक हमें कोई नहीं रोक सकता. इंडिया के पास जेनेटिकली हमको सब कहते हैं वी आर वीक, लाइक हाइट एवरेज सब कुछ देखे, बट हमारे में मेंटल स्ट्रेंथ और सब कुछ है, हम जीत जाएंगे.
बिल्कुल, there is no denying that. But I do think this needs to happen a lot earlier in the timeline as they are thinking. This TOPS program, I think this should have been whatever 10 years ago. But
yeah.
Whatever, as it stands right now, I think it can benefit so many athletes in the country, and I'm sure we'll see the fruits of that in the next games. But to target 10 years from now, it needs to happen now.
No, yeah, exactly. अभी सोचेंगे तब कुछ होगा.
Exactly.
So sir, my last question to you is that, like, you know, where do you think, like, you know, what's next for golf in India? Like next 10 साल में आप क्या इमेज देखते हो golf की इंडिया में?
I think we are at a cusp of something. I think that there could be a breakthrough for Indian golf, men and women. Whichever one of them will happen first, and it will ignite the fire for the other side. I think there is a breakthrough incoming. I think both men and women, the international representation is at an all-time high, and my contemporaries on the men's side, at least I can speak of, are more motivated than ever to play outside and to succeed outside, and the women are doing the same. We just saw so many. There's a ladies European Tour event at DLF, and we saw so many of our Indian professionals in the reckoning for the win. I think 3 of them in the top 5. I think in the next couple of years, I expect something big from Indian golf that can take it to exponential heights for the next couple of decades. I think it could be.
So more like, you know, like we will be on the map really soon. We are already on the map.
Yeah.
But like, you know, our arrival will be announced like in a really big way in the coming years.
I think it will come in numbers then. I think the first one is taking longer than we wanted to. But I think once that breakthrough happens, once that wall is broken down, I think it'll come in.
There's no coming
numbers.
back then.
Yeah.
So at the end, thank you, sir. Like, it's our pleasure to have you on board with us. And I hope कि जो आपकी conversation, जो आपने insights दिया about golf, वो लोगों तक पहुँचे, और जो नेसेसरी चेंजेस है स्पोर्ट में वो हो, एंड वी सी लाइक यू नो कि इंडियन जो यंग एथलीट्स हैं वो आगे जाएं, एंड आप भी यंग ही हो. सो इन द कमिंग लाइक ओलंपिक्स और एशियन गेम्स यू विन अ मेडल फॉर अस, एंड देन वी